and welcome to Plebpla. This, in the year of 2019, is the first triannual What Have I Built coverage. I really don't have an official title for this thing, I just like using that word triannual. So for the months of January, February, March, and April, this is what I've built. And going forward in the new format of gunpla and mecha model reviews on Wednesdays, Plebpla will be more or less saved for special events, things that I have to review on the get-go because it's brand new, it's hot, it's live. Whereas we'll be seeing Zappa versus the Shelf for regular releases, not even regular, it's just stuff that's been in my backlog, stuff that's been on my shelf for 10,000 years and 10,000 more. Why don't we have an Aquarion kit to build? But I digress. I have my little pad of notes here, and without touching it, I'll try to bring up one of my older pictures. If not, sorry, but perhaps here I'll remember to put in a picture of the Hresvelger Alterie. I'm not moving her because since taking her off the shelf, I've discovered that the base that she comes with is cracked. So what I need to do is reconfigure her out of her bike form, go full armor, and have her secured back on the shelf next to Combattler V right over there. But that was my first frame arms girl, the only frame arms girl I'm really interested in picking up at this point until they do a design that's got some longer hair attached or maybe something that's just super dope. I enjoyed building it despite the fact that it had cut me open once, twice, 3 times some sharp pieces. I picked it up on a Black Friday sale and I built it. I think I started building it Christmas Eve day. No, Christmas Day Eve, the other way around. It was going, Christmas Eve happened and I started the morning after. But I didn't finish it until we'd already clicked into New Year's Day. Following that was a kit that I was very excited for, and the anime is actually really good so far. And they've got more model kits coming soon, so I see what you're doing, Bandai. You're trying to get my money. The high grade 1/300 scale Gosora. A Super Robot War, A Super Robot anime from the 80s. It's part of a series called the Eldoran series, and I believe this is the 3rd and last one that actually got an anime. There was a 4th one that was planned, and I think it got a cameo in a video game, but it never made it to production, unfortunately. This is a very nice and sturdy high grade. It's also the first kit that I've ever seen that came with an addendum, an extra slip of paper inside the kit that says, hey, we printed our manuals wrong, so here we are fixing it. They left out a polycap, and it's not the first one that I own that's got that. Well, it was the first one. It's now, there's 2, that's what I'm trying to say. There's a second one that I have. But there's a review for it. Links will be in the description to all the relevant reviews for where reviews are relevant. Following that, I built on a marathon and did a trilogy of reviews for the high-grade Gypsy Avenger and the high-grade Bracer Phoenix. The high-grade Bracer Phoenix is a very big disappointment. It's very clunky, whereas the Gypsy Avenger is actually pretty damn fantastic, but it's not the best one of the trio. I did want to complete that set though, and I appreciate that I've got it at least. It's just a shame that they've got 3 different versions of the Gypsy Avenger. Bandai, now you're taking advantage of the people. That's too much. You're asking for too much money. I'm rambling. I digress. Following the last of the P Bandai crossbones that I needed to collect, the Crossbone X0. I officially will not be getting the Crossbone X1 Kai. It's not worth it to pay for a kit that's exactly the same just to get 3 extra parts. It's not even a recolor. It's just 3 extra parts. Not going to do that. This, however, this boy is fantastic, and it sets itself apart not just in the color scheme, but in its unique weapons, because the other ones have repeating weapons. The X3 has the Beam Masamune Muramasa Buster, excuse me, but that also comes with the high grade Build Divers full cloth type GBFT. It's got the Muramasa Blaster in that as well, so this is the only one that really has anything truly unique besides the X2 and its Shot Lancer. Here at Ushicon 2019 was where I built the Leo. The Leo is a kit that did not get a review like the rest of these, chronologically speaking, did. Everyone else has already reviewed the Leo months and months ago, so me kind of jumping in late, it'll catch one when it's time, but it'll have been long since forgotten by the time I get there. So at least it'll be fresh. It's like, hey, how's that Leo from 5 years ago? Still, the High Grade Leo is a great kit. I customized mine exclusively. I painted the armbands. This is probably the only one I'll lift up. The armbands on here are blue, simply to set it apart between me and the Queen of Space having a lot of like crossover kits. I'll do mine one way, kind of do something to set it apart. A different piece, a different sticker. Hers and mine are, at least when we have the same kits, can be told apart. Next, I left one. I'll be back. Next up, the kit that I forgot, which I can see why I forgot it, it's very easy to do, is the Momo Haro. This is sitting on the side, waiting to be painted. And the weather's been bad every time I'm in the mood to do it, and whenever I am in the mood to do it, I've got something else I really need to be doing. One of these days, this will be painted red. And the only reason I couldn't just wait for a red Haro or whatever variant they're in is because I wanted the one with the cat ears. This, in red, has significance to me as one of the few people that have read Gundam 00F. There is an angry red Haro that not supports, but holds therein. I do apologize for forgetting the word I was trying to say. But inside is the program for an Innovade, because she did a bad thing, and they're like, no, we need your skills, but we're taking your body. So now she is a support unit. Hanaya, I believe was the name, or Hayana? There's twins, in a way, but one of them is stuck inside an angry red Haro. And it is my plan to paint her an angry red. One of these days. One of these days. But from there, we have a gift. A gift from my boy Boomsy, who is probably off in Japan right now, crying in front of the giant unicorn. He got me the SD Perfect ZEON. He asked me, he's like, hey, which BB Senshi do you have? Which I thought he was giving me one of the cool little armored, SD boys. Hey, I was surprised. And double surprised when I found out that it has feet. It's the first thing I built on a stream too. Well, not the first build stream, but I sat there, we watched anime, I built the whole thing on stream. It was a good time. At least I thought it was a good time. I watched ZEON. After that, I finished the Gold Savior. Some gold. But I used that opportunity in my build queue to review the G Savior properly, despite that I had built that one some 8 or so years ago. This one very much holds up better than my lack of building skills. However, Joseph Escobar, your G Savior and my G Savior, I'm going to fight it out in the streets. Hashtag G Savior Protection Squad. After that is a kit whose stand is making me very angry the last couple of days. As I put things on the shelf next to it, it kind of jostles it and bobs it over. The Figure Eye Standard Kamen Rider Kabuto, which is half re-release from the 2014 model kit of, I guess, figure eyes, and half new parts. Only a few new parts are in there for, I think, joints. They revamped some of the joints and they did a chest piece so it has a little more forward-moving articulation. And I believe this comes in a different color as well. But it's very great, except that it's sticker hell. Hope you like stickers. No, at least the stickers themselves are good, unlike some model kits that I've done recently. You know who you are. After that, I built the Grimoire Red Beret and the Tilt Rotor pack, which was finished on the eve of WrestleMania, Kofi Mania, Botchamania. At the same time, I had a streamer did a tribute stream for me and my dedication to his channel. He played, or I guess kind of did a pseudo speed run of Zelda 2, only for me to learn that that shit's hard. You can't just watch a video and be like, hey, I can do that. No. If you ever want to learn to speedrun a video game, you have to practice first. Just learning how to go fast doesn't mean that you can go fast. You must learn. Practice, 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 practice. Dedication. Dedication. Nextly, and the last thing that I reviewed since going on to other review projects because time sensitivity was the Red Gundam Astray Red Frame Flight Unit. Is good. I like this part. Review is in the comments below. It is also super recent, but it was here that I decided to officially kick off going through Zappa versus the Shelf. So this began, I guess, what is considered Season 1, even if it wasn't the first one in what is now the playlist labeled as Season 1. So Season 1 continues for 8 robots, 8 competitors. Who's next? Find out in a couple weeks. After that, I finished, finally, the GM Guard Custom. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it the guard frame. I must be getting that from something somewhere. The guard frame. Somebody in the comments, tell me, what am I getting that from? It's not a quiz. I really don't know what I'm getting it from. There's got to be something that's a guard frame, and I'm not in front of a computer right now to find out. You are. Do some research. Find out for me. Because you're cool. And leaving comments is a good time. And lets the algorithm know that I'm here. I exist. I'm making content, not just for me, but for you. And lastly, the last thing I built before we clicked and ticked into the month of May, the Momo Capsule. I still sit here and await a regular Capsule release. They're probably gonna run the gamut of making a bunch of high-grade wing kits before they start moving over to either rolling back to the high-grade Universal Century Capsule, which comes in blue. You also kind of see it briefly in Unicorn. That's what they'll do. They'll make a blue Capsule Unicorn version when they could just... Dang it, I have so many ways that P-Bandai could make money off of this, it's stupid. You get this. You get it in blue because that'll be the high-grade Universal Century that they give us. And then they'll turn around and give us the green one, the Turn A version. And then they'll turn around and give us a red one, the Turn A Coronander version. P-Bandai, how dare you. Getting all my monies, knowing people will buy your swag. But this counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think 14. I kind of did a bit there and then I quit counting. Yeah, so it turns out it's 13. 14 if I count the Tilt Rotor as a separate model kit. Kind of really don't. And can't count, the Momoharo too much. So maybe it was 12. I did a bit as a joke. Turned out to be kind of true. Anyway, stay tuned because coming next week, now that I've built in for some time, I will continue my downward spiral into the Modroid brand and bring forth the apparently superior Mazin Kaiser. Following that, we'll get back on with Zappa versus the Shelf. I appreciate y'all watching. Please tell your friends about all the robots that I build. Come here for Let's Plays and reviews. I don't like to shill, but, you know, we gotta conform with the algorithms of liking, sharing, subscribing. I don't really care if you hit the bell or not, because you should know by now, every day, most days, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have a video for you. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then Saturdays. Every now and again Fridays, if we do a stream, we'll start VODs on Fridays. I thank y'all for watching, and stay tuned to see what I build in the next 4 months. As always, SIEG, ZEON.